Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome to the Sky Tour live stream on this 27th of June, 2022. It's so good to see you guys with us tonight. And I am also, as always, joined by Daryl Mason. Hello there, Daryl. How are you?
Hello, Mark. I'm nominal. Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Excellent. Well, it's great to have you here. Great to see you. I am.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'm going to just check a couple of settings here. We're waiting for it to get fully dark, so as we do that, we'll just give us a few more seconds.
Yep. Today was the longest, or today is the latest sunset.
Okay.
For North America, so it's going to start getting dark earlier now.
It will, won't it?
Yep.
Indeed. Okay.
We've rounded the top on the Analemma and are starting to head south.
I'm loving it. For us, that means good things, right? So welcome, folks. I want to say hello to the people that got here early on. And that person who reached us first tonight was Vera Lucia Campos from Brazil. Great to see you. And then Bonnie was close behind in that heated race, followed closely by Petita PG in Pennsylvania. And then, of course, we have our friend CND Boy and Justin T and Papa Tom who came in. Carmen is with us tonight. And it's so good to see you as well. And I know that Carmen's on a trip and she'll be back to California, I believe, soon. Renee Cruz, hello, welcome. Good to see you. Donald Kunzer, nice to see you. And I also saw Simon with us tonight. It's good to see you, Simon. Simon is a recent addition to the SkyTour live stream family. He's hanging with us. I believe he is from Perth in Western Australia. And Fantasy's with us. Good to see you, Fantasy. Tim F. Woohoo! Welcome, brother. Good to see you. And so we're going to look at a few things tonight. We are chasing weather, I got to tell you. Hello, Alice Pooper. What's going on? NPC is here. OG Skywatch. It's not a competition. I'm kidding, of course. And we also have Karen Belmont. Hello, Karen. How are you? And so we have a black sky right now. As you can see over my head, it's not quite dark out there yet. And you can see that cloud right here. That cloud up there is, that right there is a little bit of a precursor to what's actually out there. We actually see some thunderstorms out to the northeast, and it's going southwest. So we're trying to get rid of it. Simon Thompson says, yes, Perth is correct. 11:22 a.m. here. That's right. He is a 12-hour difference into tomorrow, and it's also the 28th of June for you, is it not? So I think you're a day ahead as well. So that's very cool. Yeah, NPC, thanks for coming. NPC says, nice to see everyone this evening. It sure is, and it's great to see you as well. We're going to try and get a few things to see here tonight before any weather takes us out of the running. And Fantasy says that we had a huge historic thunderstorm where I lived the other day. Very rare to get that huge monsoon in the middle of June. And Marianne is here, Marianne Robb. And Marianne Robb, of course, is one of the happy triumvirate that makes up the SkyTour livestream organization. Hiya, Marianne. Don't tase me. She's a cop. That's why you say that. Anyway, it's good to see you guys. And as I said, we will get some stars. I like to go, usually I'll bring us up to Spica. This is our planetarium that we use to connect to the telescope. This right here, this here up there, that is the telescope control system. This is the view inside the building. That's skytourlive.com. That's actually our portal to get to this, if you want to. This is me here, the bottom thing here. And this is our main view, and this is our camera control cluster out here that controls everything. This is our timing and our title. If you see something in here that's of interest, note the time and put it in the chat, or announce it really loudly in the chat in all caps in case you see something that we miss. We have had that happen before. So keep your eyes peeled for anything crazy, because it does happen. So that said, once we have that in place, what we do is we have this beautiful planetarium system we use. It's free. It's called Stellarium. But we've linked it to our telescope to run our telescope. And we like doing that. And Martinsville, Indiana is in the house with Matthew Barnes. How you doing, man? Oh, I'm glad that you're I'm glad that you've been enjoying it, Matthew. We really enjoy your company. All right. Here's what we're going to do now. We're going to move up the Spica here and just get it in the view just to make sure that our telescope is all aligned. And I believe it is, but we're going to do it anyway. Our response time out there is just majorly fast because we now have a Starlink that we've been using. So it's much better. I'm hearing crickets. I wonder if that's in this song.
Huh.
It might be in the crickets. It might be in the song. I also hear through the microphones that are out in the desert too, because I have a microphone system out there as well on one of the outdoor cameras that belong to the landowners, and I can hear that. Okay. Hey Matthew, that's very kind to say. I'm sorry to hear about that, but you know, I'm glad this could bring you some relief because we certainly enjoy having you here. Marianne's asking you if you're going, Bonnie. Are you going to go to the MUFON conference in Denver next week? I'm doing 3 talks there. Okay, let's get this straightened out here. So we're going to do this. Move over to Spica. Move out of here. Hey, where'd you go? Oh man. Well, that's weird. My planetarium program decided to say I'm out of here. So, all right. Well, no worry. We'll bring it back.
Did it go to Spica?
No, not yet. Actually, Spica should be in the view. I haven't. It's up there. See that? So
Yeah.
I just have to bring our.
Spica's getting over in the southwest now.
Yeah, it is. If you look where the telescope is hanging, hang on a second as I come out of this. All right, I'll bring it back over. Park it where I'd like to park it. All right, park it over here. There we go. Just give me a sec. Everything has a place. There we go. Okay. So now we'll jump towards Spica here a little bit. And there we go. Alright, there's Spica. Center it up. And now I'll put our field of view indicator in here, which is right there. So now we should see Spica in the upper right of the frame here. Now we're actually at very small low settings, but there's Spica right there. So we're close. So let's get our crosshairs set up and let's bring Spica down. We're going to change the speed of our system to make it slower, so now we can move the telescope to the north to pull Spica down into our view as we're aiming the telescope up. And we're going to center up Spica in the crosshairs and then check our coordinate systems, synchronize it, and confirm that we are where we belong. And then we'll be ready to go to town. All right, now we're going to jump a little bit to the east, just to center it up. Did I say east? I meant the west.
The other east.
The other east. Yeah, okay, there we go. So from here now, 13, this is our coordinates up here. You can see it's right ascension. That's the east-west direction, and it's in 24 hours, 360 degrees divided by 24 hours in a day gives you this many degrees per hour, and
15.
we're at 13. Yes, and we're at 13 2738. So let's see if Spica is at roughly that location. And as you can see, this tells us the position the telescope thinks it's at, and we need to actually get it to be on Spica because we're centered on Spica. So now I'm going to center it, and you'll watch the crosshair move now to Spica. All right, there we go. Telescope is synchronized to the planetarium. Planetarium is synchronized to the view. So we are at right ascension in our current setup is 13, 26, 22, 13, 26, 17, 16. That's good. Those seconds don't make a big difference with our telescope, even if we had a higher focal length, more magnification. Okay, now we're at 11, 16, 39 for our declination, minus 11. And we are, in fact, minus 11, 16, 41. So we're very, very close. We're good. All right. So now, there's Spiker. And you'll notice that we have this center darkness. The reason it's that is because we're applying what's called a flat field correction. And if we take it out, then it'll just look blank across there. It'll look bland across there. But we need it for when we take photos of objects in the sky for a long number of seconds, because if we do, then you'll notice that the center of the sensor always is brighter than the outside. So this is like the negative of that. So if we subtract dynamically that frame we take from this dark frame, this what you see here, this light on the outside, dark on the inside, then it negates that and it brings it back to what it should be. All right. Now, in terms of our weather, I can see that we are still okay. I'm gonna go check out. Yeah, it's looking okay right now. So I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, looks like the clouds are dissipating. We might get away with without rain, but I'm also seeing there is. Oh man, there's a batch of clouds coming our way, but you know what? And it has rain in it, so we got to be careful. This is risky. All right, we'll see what we can do. I'm just looking at it now, guys, so give me a moment. It's still not quite dark, as you can see in the screen here. All right, I'm just looking here. Actually, you know what? I should show you what I'm looking at. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share what I'm looking at so you can see it. Okay. Here's what we're looking at. This is the observatory right here. And you can see this building storm here. And this is where we are. And these clouds, we want those to move this way. We want this storm to move that way. Where'd it go? I moved it away. Sorry. Let's bring it back. All right. So we want that to move away, and it's tending to do this. It's tending to go that way, but we're just going to give it a few more minutes. Let's see if we can get one object in at least before we have to possibly call it. I don't want to do that. And just to give you an idea, if we look at the radar right at the moment, you'll see that this is thunderstorm out there, and it is building a little bit. We also have this one coming down from Holbrook and Winslow, right? But that one is probably going to go south of us. This one looks like it wants to track to the southwest here and avoid us. And again, we're here now. It doesn't look like we're in much danger, but we do have some kind of tongue of rain that is stretching toward us here. And if we come back to this, you can see, okay, this is us, all right? And you watch now. Let's just let's see if we can get this to do its thing. All right, so there. So you can see what it's doing. It's starting to expand out over the top. It's going to take some rain with it. It may not reach the ground, but if that comes anywhere toward Wickenburg, well, we got to close up, because Wickenburg is a few a few storm minutes away from us. Okay, that said, let's go back to our main screen here and basically put up or shut up, right? We're gonna go check it out. All right, let's take us to, say, 500 milliseconds, half a second. It'll be pretty bright, but we'll see some stars. I'll drop this down. We'll still see Spheriá, but I'm gonna raise this up now. And I've connected our focusing system now. And we're gonna take a exposure that's just, say, 10 seconds on Spheriá, and we're just gonna do it as a test just to see what we got for sky. We're not focused yet, we have to do that. Okay, let's just live stack that while we're at it. The live stack takes an image, then takes another one and aligns it and stacks it on top, and we make an image stack. And that image stack brings out the data while suppressing the noise. So we can see this is actually looking pretty good. And if we look down here, these are our curves: red, green, and blue curve. The average in the middle here. And what we want is we want those curves all to align with each other. So I'm going to do a color correction, which will bring all those curves in line, right? And then I'm going to move our dark level over, and this is, we want to bring it right near the peak. As you can see, that brings us the best view of the sky. This next one, the mid-level guy, this one here, if we bring it over, it starts to stretch and do what's called a push. And we actually push the data. That yellow slope you see is intersecting our data, which is now aligned red, green, and blue curves. And the more data we intercept, the brighter it's going to get. So we go too far and it gets too bright. And generally, you'll see that the best data is actually not right when it's up here, right? It's actually this curve. We're looking at this data here and then down. That's what we're looking at. We're not seeing this. We're just seeing this data right here in this particular curve selection. And we can also see if we zoom in. All right, let's go to 100%. Okay, this is Spheriá. You can notice how the stars are just a little out of focus. And that's good, because we want them out of focus. Because we're going to, we're going to turn around and focus them. So I'm going to go back to 1 second now. All right, and that 1 second exposure will net us. There we go. 1 second. That's that guy. All right, that's going to net us a view now. I'm going to get rid of the stack because we don't need it. All right. Alrighty, there we go. Okay. I'm going to go out a little bit. I haven't seen Izabela yet, have you?
Yeah, she's here.
Oh, she is. Hi, Izabela.
Hi, Izabela.
Okay, so now that I've done that, I got us out of focus just a little. Now we're going to do a scan of the focus to try and bring our focusing system online. And we're going to scan inward, and we're going to build a focus curve. And you'll actually see it and watch it dynamically build before your eyes. The yellow boxes are surrounding stars that it's identifying in the view. And you'll see how we have 20 stars once I come back here. Here we go. And these stars are now being used, and these are points along a curve that it's building. And it's sampling under those into those yellow boxes. It's sampling the shape of the star, and it's trying to minimize the size of that image inside that yellow box. And when it does, it's found the best focal point. And you'll see that along the curve here, you'll see a second line appear, and that's going to be the point of best focus. And it's going to be right at the bottom of the curve. So we should see that line appear any second now, because we've got a pretty good curve here.
Hi, Vera. They're both so nice I had to say it twice.
Okay, our focus did not find the star, and that's because we are actually not let me reset this. It wasn't quite dark enough, so we're gonna try again. I think if we scan in, we're gonna be able to do this now. Let's try again. I always try to do it too soon, you know, and it ends up not working, so.
You're eager.
Yes. Too much so. Alright, it says too few stars right now. Alright, well, we're gonna just stop because I don't want to go too far. Alright, let's just get it close. So. As it gets close, more stars come in. And technically, I could stop when I see the most boxes, but, you know, or the most stars, but I really want to go to the point where I capture the best focus position. That will happen now. Alright, so at this point, I don't have enough stars, but then again, I can increase my gain, which I'll do. And that will bring us some more stars. So I'm going to go in now a little bit. And I'll start getting some stars. So I have 7 stars. So now I'm going to scan inward and I'll get my curve. Actually, I'm going to stop and reset again. And go back out again. Because I forgot to clear the last one. Alright. So we'll scan in now. From here. Okay, we're starting with 9 stars. Now we have 11, 13, 18, 13, 15, 16, see it right here, 22, that's good, 21, 25, 30. Clearly we're reaching a better focus when you can start to identify these points. Now we're over 30 stars. That's going to go back out, so we're at 34. When it reaches the bottom of the curve and heads up the other way, you'll see it right here. You'll see that curve start to go back up. And when it does, it's going to place a second line at the part of the curve where that focus was best seen. There goes a satellite. Here's our curve focus best point right there. And that will shift and change as it gets more data. But we're almost there. And we're done. So now we can go to our point of best focus. So the focuser goes and racks all the way down to the other side of the curve and comes all the way back. And that actually is a good thing to do because that helps get rid of any what's called backlash in the focuser. Alright. So we have our focus. So now our sky is perfectly focused. And to prove that, let's just take a 15-second photo here and stack it. All right, and we're going to clear this old buffer. And when this comes in, we're going to see stars that are much more focused, actually. Far better focused. Here we go. First one. Okay, first we're going to drop this guy down. This is a... There we are. All right, so now if we zoom in on this, all right, and check out the shape of the stars, you'll see that the stars are indeed just really nicely focused. Look at those tiny little pinpoints. This is great. So that's our focus on Spica. All right. And now, one thing I have to do while we're here is I've got to go in and start up our all-sky camera system. Daryl mentioned it earlier when we were off the air. But it is a good idea to have a feel for what might be in our sky. So we have a... You'll see now our all-sky view. We're going to do a single acquisition here for 15 seconds. Low light camera. What's that?
Well, like you said, I mean, you can't be too careful if you got storms heading your way.
Yeah, we'll see the lightning too in the all sky. That's the thing. All right, so here we go. Okay, what's going on? See, the camera's doing that thing again because we have everything else connected. Yes. That's weird. Okay. Sometimes the camera causes issues. And it conflicts. And it was supposed to, go to 15 and stop, and it didn't. So that's a problem. Let's just go and look at our map here. See what we got. Alright. And that storm is really building. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Okay, this guy right here. That guy right there. Watch what happens here. Again, we're here. Yeah, that's unfortunately, I think that's gonna keep us from going any further. Let me just check make sure about the rain. Let's pop the rain in there. That's not entirely 100% accurate either. Looks like it's going, but it looks like it's coming down, doesn't it? I do need that all sky. All right, we're gonna try the all sky again. See if we can get it to work. But first things first, I'm going to take our system here and bring us up to the maximum speed, spin us around, take us to 1 second here. All right, and then max out our view. Okay, that's 15 seconds. I don't want that. I want this one. Okay, just a minute. All right. And we're going to get rid of the stack. Go up here. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to bring the telescope to a safety position for the time being. Okay, that's a safety position. Now, if there's some kind of problem, I will be able to shut the building. It'll be safe. I had a problem with the camera before, and I didn't know why I did that. Let me just go back to the system here. Oh. Okay, see, it doesn't find our camera.
One more thing to put on the list for when you go to Arizona.
Yeah, that's actually, which is tomorrow. All right, no problem, but that's good. So we're okay with that. We will depend on our map showing where things are. It's close, and I get nervous about that, as anyone would. I'm not sure that's coming for us though, but we'll see.
It looked like it was sliding off to the southwest.
Yeah. It sure looks it, but
The storm that
that.
is. But yeah, I just saw that.
See, that's coming down.
Uh-huh.
It's building now. I don't know what's gonna happen. I was just showing Daryl this guy. I was showing Daryl this right here.
Yeah.
See that? That's coming right down toward us.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see what we can do with that. Let's see if we can do anything tonight. All right. Okay. All right, let's see what we can do. Is there anything we can do? That's the question. By the way, I should also be able to stream just fine when we are in Arizona. Okay. Let's see if we can get to this. I like measure 4. So we're going to try to go to measure 4. Watch the telescope, it's going to move. Alright, and it's doing a high precision slewing, meaning it's going to go to a bright star. Oh, see where it's going though? As long as you can get the star in the view, which is probably Antares. You can see that cut off side, that's because the edge of the building is cutting it off. Yeah, it's trying to center Antares. So, and there's a satellite. Okay. Hey, Cosmic Ray, how you doing? See, this shows you that the building is cutting off a little bit of it. And then we're going to move over because we're looking at this right here. Hey, Forbidden Knowledge, how you doing? Yeah, there's measure 4. Check that out. It looks really pretty. Let's see if we can get an exposure of that. Okay, we are gonna wait. I'm gonna just do this first. Okay, we're guiding. Right there, you can see the numbers. They're guiding. So now what we can do is let's do a 15-second exposure of this guy. And there we go. So we're going to drop that off and pull up the stack. Starting from scratch. We're going to clear this. You may have a bit of the building in the view. I'm going to keep looking at the weather. This music represents the frantic pace that I'm thinking here in my head. Okay, let's see our first image. Alright, that's really pretty. And what I'm going to do is color correct it and get those curves lined up like I told you about. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. We're getting a little extra color from the sunset. Look at that.
Looks
That's
like
nice,
a line
Daryl.
going through it.
You mean these? These stars?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing that.
Me neither.
In measure 4, but it is there.
Hmm.
Wow, that's really pretty. Okay, we'll make a note of this. This is measure 4. And it is a globular cluster. Alright, so M4. Globular cluster. Here we go. There it is. And now we can see it in all its glory. Look at that. That's really pretty.
Well, it is kind of ballooning in your direction.
Yeah. This may be the only thing we can look at, unfortunately. But it's a beautiful... Oh, look at that. We got a satellite that came through. Probably a Starlink satellite. They come through on the diagonal like this. But isn't that nice, guys? And we can actually do some processing on this, too, while we're here. This is kind of fun. Watch. We can do a couple things. We can pull this in, brighten it up, show us more detail, and pull this out to brighten the sky background a little and kind of soften the look on everything. Hi, Vera. Thank you.
Thank you, Vera.
You may not get your money's worth tonight, Vera, because we're going to have to close after this, because of the incoming weather. But I just couldn't do it without giving you something. You guys came to see something, and I want to show you.
Can I remind you of what you said you wanted to look at again tonight?
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what we're going to do next. The supernova. Okay. I had to wait for it to get dark.
Yeah.
I sent Daryl a sequence of imagery of the supernova that we had taken. And it was just beautiful. You could see how it was a bright, hot blue early on. And then it became... Okay, there's our save for the raw data. And then it became a much lesser color. It ended up becoming a very, very orange and then fainter by the 29th or the 22nd of this month. And now, let's go there. Thank you for the reminder, Daryl, because I wasn't thinking that we had to get there right away, but we really do. It's right nearby. And if anything, this will help us with our scientific data in finding out some more details. So we're just going to go. The telescope's going to go. I'm going to make sure that we're at 1 second here and maxed out. And we're going to get rid of our stack because we don't need it. Satellite going right through. All right. All right. So we're getting our... You can see where the telescope's pointing now. Remember, guys, go to skytourlive.com or skytourlive.org, and we will be there for a long time to come. Also, to answer your question, I will be streaming from Arizona as well. We now have Starlink, so I should be able to stream right from that site, but we'll see. I may not have the best audio, that's the problem. Okay, we don't need this now. We pull that out of there.
Thank you, Fantasy. I had somehow missed this. Fantasy mentioned that there's a comet coming in, be it its closest in just a few weeks.
Wow. Well, then we're going to have to check that out too, won't we?
Comet C/2017 K2.
Okay.
July 14th. Be closest to us.
All right. Well, hopefully I can stream at that point, but I'll be out there. All right. Okay, so this here is the galaxy right here. This is measure 60, and that's the NGC 4647, which means New General Catalog. And that's a galaxy that has a supernova in it. And we're going to quickly take some images here before we got to can it. We're going to go to 25 seconds. We're off and running. And once the first one comes in, I will zoom in and show you. Of course, I have to clear our last one, which is up there. It'll be up on our database, which you can get to by going to that site right there, skytourlive.com. Scroll down and say, go to the database. And it will take you right where all of these are. Okay.
I don't know how I missed news of that.
About the comet?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's do this. Holy cow, yeah. Again, it's a lot dimmer. Let's show you what we're talking about. Okay, this is NGC 4647 that you'll see here in a second. Okay, let me bring it in. Oh, duh. Okay, this is NGC 4647 right here. This is Measure 60, an elliptical galaxy. 4647 has this supernova in it, and that's it right there. A star that has exploded and littered this galaxy with its guts. Yeah. Fantasy says, I showed NGC 4647 from your last stream to my dad, who was here visiting me over the weekend, and he was blown away. Said it was his favorite thing on your last stream. Oh, that's cool. Well, it is a really cool dynamic thing happening in the universe, and over time we've seen this go from bright blue, actually since April 30th. It went from bright blue, much brighter than the galaxy, to now looking like a background star, and it will be fainter than the galaxy in just a few more days, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see. But we've stacked 4 of these so far. We're going to stack as many as we can before the weather shuts us down.
That is quite a bit dimmer than it has been.
Yeah. Well, I like watching that happen. Yikes.
That happened. Yeah, that happened late March, I think, when they first detected the supernova. So it's been hanging around quite a while.
Yeah, they last a few months, but not always. In our next SkyTour Radio, we're going to be talking about Type 1A supernovae and core collapse supernovae, the Type 2s. Type 2 supernovae collapse is just very violent. That's not what happened here. It's very violent, but this was because of a pair of stars that were orbiting each other very closely, and when those stars ended up dying, one of them expanded into a red giant, and the other one was still a normal star, and then this star here just shrunk back down to a white dwarf after it was all done, and then this star went to a red giant. When that happened, now the danger zone is entered, because now this star can leak gas onto this star, and if the gas leaks onto the surface of the white dwarf, but it doesn't reach a certain critical mass, then the star can go nova, which is what a nova is versus a supernova. But if it does reach a critical mass, then that white dwarf will explode when it goes into this extra mass hits it, and it becomes more massive. That critical mass is called the Chandrasekhar limit, and it's 1.44 solar masses. And above that, and we're going to see a supernova for this situation. Cosmic Ray, thank you. He's talking about this galaxy right here, Measure 60. He says Measure 60 is located in the constellation Virgo, roughly 54 million light years from the Earth, and has an apparent magnitude of 9.8, and its central region can be seen through small telescopes. Indeed, it can. And right next to it, you might see a smudge of light. The central nucleus, just given a hint in a small telescope, probably a moderate telescope. But you won't see the supernova unless you have an instrument like ours or similar. But it's beautiful. Thanks for that, Cosmic Ray.
If I remember correctly, they are just starting to interact.
These galaxies are.
Yes, I seem to remember reading that somewhere.
Yeah. You'll notice that there's some spiral arm type structure in this galaxy here, NGC 4647. Ellipticals tend to be pretty large, and this one's large elliptical compared to this galaxy. They're actually relatively close to each other in space.
And both are members of the Virgo cluster, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. We had some wind ruin one of our exposures, if you noticed that. But the stacking process, you see how they look odd right now? I'll have to clear and start again. I mean, technically, I can capture all the individual frames and just exclude them, but I don't want to do that right now. So we're just going to clear it and start again. based on the weather, we're okay. We didn't have any wind that was expected, so I'm just guessing that we'll be all right. We'll see.
Oh, that storm's going to put out some wind, probably.
Yeah, that's probably what's doing. We're getting a downdraft from that. All right, let's try and capture what we can here. Oh, we're getting wind again. Look at that.
Yeah.
Already got wind. Well, it thwarted us, guys. But at least we got a visual record. We saw it. So, in order to now go into safe mode because we have a storm coming, I did what I could for tonight, and I don't like that I couldn't do more. But now that we're safe, I'm going to park the telescope. And here we go. You'll see the telescope go into its park mode. And that takes us down low enough. You can see some stuff flying around in there too. This was going to be good too. I would have enjoyed that. But I'll do more out in Arizona. Fantasy says we had 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts all evening out here in the desert. Yeah, we're actually supposed to only have 16 mile an hour gusts out there. But it didn't work out that way. Alright, so you might wonder why we're still seeing the same thing. It's because we haven't we've been doing a 25-second exposure. So if I do this now, you'll see that and I gotta of course get rid of the stack. You'll see the actual image. Alright. And if we can see some stars, I want you to notice what they're doing. See that little motion? Now we're using a 1 second exposure. Okay, which is 1,000 milliseconds. But you see the sky tracking. Now the telescope sitting still, it's no longer following the stars. So we're actually watching the rotation of the Earth as we rotate out toward the east from under the stars. Isn't that great? For people that think that there's nothing going on out there, you can see it happening right before your eyes. Well, I'm sorry to say that has to conclude what happened tonight. So I have to turn off the power now. Alright, power is off.
Look at it this way. You get to go to bed early for your trip tomorrow.
Oh, that's okay. Alright. It's probably better this way. Now if you watch though, if you watch over here, I'm going to close the roof. You'll actually see the roof close. There it goes. And notice it's nice and smooth. Thanks to Starlink. It's better to be safe than sorry, guys. I'm sorry. And Forbidden Knowledge says, I just noticed your haircut. Yeah, I had an Einstein here before this, but I have to go do 2 conference talks. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 conference talks in the next week and a half. So I'll be in Roswell. I'm going to Phoenix tomorrow, then over to Roswell. And I'll be talking at the Roswell Daily Records event. The Roswell Daily Record was the place where they first noted a UFO had crashed in the desert in New Mexico. And it was the Roswell Daily Record that reported it. And so they've been running this event. Toby Martinez is the guy that runs it. Great event. If you're out there, make sure you get to the Roswell Daily Record event. It's great. And, of course, there's a UFO museum there.
Aren't they celebrating the 70th or 75th anniversary?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I think it's 70th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then...
it happened in 47, didn't it?
It did.
So
47 or 48.
If it was 47, that'd be 75.
Okay, that's 75 years then. Yeah. Yep.
Well, have a safe trip, Mark.
I'll do my best, and then go back to Phoenix on the 4th of July. And maybe I'll get some nice video of fireworks going off from the air as I come back. And then I go to Denver with the folks that are going to the MUFON conference there. I'll be seeing all them. And the MUFON conference is... MUFON Symposium is actually a worldwide symposium, and my talk is going to be on extraterrestrial life and the capabilities and the possibilities and how UFOs can actually travel through space. I should actually show some of that, but part of me wants to do my presentation right now just to show you guys what's going to happen, what it's going to be, but it's all right. But anyway, I think what will be neat is that at the MoveOn Symposium, I'm going to teach photo and video analysis. Then I'm going to do a workshop on what you can get for your phone to actually do investigative discoveries. And then then I do a main speaker presentation on Sunday. So it'll be pretty cool. So that's it, guys. I'm sorry that it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I had to give it a try, though, because it's just worth always trying, you know? So,
well, Mark, thank you for having me on.
As short as it was.
Everybody. Nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We barely made an hour, but you know what? It was a good hour, right? I hope so. All right, guys. Well, we will see you the next time, and I will stream from Arizona for sure, and we will talk soon. This will be a very short table of contents for you, Izabela, so relish in that. All right, guys. We'll talk later. Night-night.
Good night, everybody.